Hi, and welcome to my Northern Colorado home. Today we are doing something a little bit different, and I'm taking you on a Thanksgiving home tour of my own home and showing you some of the staging mistakes I see sellers make often during the holiday season. So, whether you're getting your home ready to list this holiday season or you're just looking to make your house a little bit more model home like and a little more cozy for the season, come along with me, and hopefully, some of these tips will help you as well. So, we're going to start in my master bedroom. And the one thing I want you to pick out from this is the color palette. So, I am trying to follow what most of the designers are seeing and what you're going to see as you go into model homes, where there is a color palette, maybe 6 colors, and then they're just utilized differently throughout the home. So maybe darker in an office and a master bedroom, and lighter in a kitchen and a living space, or however it feels right to you. So I just picked a color palette that had colors that I tend to fall to. So cognac, navy, and cream, and then added in, some other colors and changed those out seasonally as well. So if you get a color palette and you stick to it, right off the bat, your home is going to outshine 90% of others. And that's whether you're just staging it for the fall and for your own life, or if you're staging it to sell. Additionally, don't think you have to break your budget in order to make your home look lovely. You can add just little minimalist things. So here you'll see that I added a little bit of wheat to my side table to bring in that cream color and also kind of that fall, I guess, dyeing foliage feel. You see I purchased some cognac pillow covers for my show pillows, and then I also purchased that fuzzy blanket, which my kids keep trying to steal, so it was worth every penny on that. Otherwise, everything is just reutilized. I have kind of a stash of florals in the basement that I just pull from seasonally, and these sticks you see here, like, they come out in the fall, they come out at Christmas, sometimes they're out in the middle of summer with some different foliage, so don't think you have to break the bank. Usually 1 or 2 items is all you need, and usually if you're trying to sell, we focus on things like baskets for loose items and closets, maybe a few little decor items like I mentioned, or maybe something that you've secretly been wanting and now is a great excuse to buy that. But just keep in mind that the cozy factor for the fall is key, so layers, textures, and layered lighting too. So lamps, overhead lighting, natural lighting, all of those things are really important to make your home feel cozy and like a place that somebody wants to be. So notice in here I've kept things neutral and layered, and also minimalist. That's intentional, and I'll show you why that matters for sellers here in a few minutes. Okay, so here we are back at my front porch. You probably recognize this video from my past newsletter or from my YouTube channel if you saw it there. So remember, I transitioned from my summer into the fall front porch in September, and so you're seeing kind of the beginning of that. So remember, for showings and really for life in general, your front of your house is everybody's first impression, and so that's where they decide if you maintain your house well. That's where they decide if this feels like home, and it's before they've even come in. So if you focus on nothing else, focus on cleaning this area and then just making it welcoming, even if that just means a welcoming mat and a nice wreath on the door. If that's all you do, that is better than spider webs and grime and it being just dirty in general. You do want the buyer to think from the minute that they walk up that this home is welcoming. So if you don't feel welcome, they're probably not either. So I would concentrate here. Make sure as you're transitioning through each of these months that you're keeping in mind the Colorado weather. Make it windproof, make it snowproof, make it rainproof. I'm blessed in that I have this covered patio, which gives a little bit more protection for my things up here. So you see, as I transition into November, I've added like a straw hay bale, and I put out my cornucopia out here. So those are things that can still withstand some dirt and some grime and some dust. I can clean them off, but they're not things that are going to get ruined by the elements. So make sure that you're if you're putting a blanket out here, which I thought about, make sure that it's something that you're okay with getting dirty and you can easily clean. Otherwise, most of the stuff is locally sourced. So I got the pumpkins at King Supers, and as I transitioned here into November, they were $1. So don't be afraid to kind of shop around. Pope Farms, I got all the mums. I got some of these gourds from my mom and dad's garden. And some of it is just from our own yard. And again, from my little stash of decor down in the basement. And I don't have a lot. It's just how you use it. So you can see if you're not wanting to do, like, say, mums, if you're not wanting to spend a bunch of money out here, because if you're like me, my mums die every year. Think about decor sprigs you have laying around, like I used in my master bedroom. Those would be great out here to transition into fall decor. Corn husks from your garden that you're cutting down, those would be great out here as well. And P.S., if I were listing my house, I wouldn't have the pumpkins in my front porch photos online, but I would add them back in for showings. So those are things that we would talk about as we are transitioning the space and getting it ready for showings versus you just getting it ready to live in and to love. Since we're outside, I thought I would show you some of the things in my yard that, as Sean and I were getting ready to prepare our yard for the winter, those are things that are still so beautiful this time of year. And so I brought those natural elements from outside inside because they match pieces of my color palette. I was able to have this minimal approach to holiday decorating because there's these beautiful grasses and colored leaves that they were just going to go in the trash. So why not bring them inside for a little bit, use them until they die or until the fluff gets eaten by my cats all over the floor, and have that natural element that just is so beautiful that you cannot mimic. And hey, this is free, so you don't have to be going and buying fake florals to decorate, whether this is just for day-to-day living or for getting it ready to sell. And keep this in mind, modern buyers do not like grandma's fake floral arrangements, so stick to the sticks and only those items that are either truly natural or have natural colors if you are going to go out and purchase, or bring the outdoors in, utilize the things that are around you. Your color palette, I truly believe, will be influenced by outside already, so I'm sure you can find things in your own yard that will translate into the vibe that you're going for inside. Now, if we go into the dining room, I'm going to show you before and after. So kind of before, just my here's my life. I have kids, so you can see kind of my day-to-day dining room. Then you see I transition it into just kind of my day-to-day living dining room. So if this was your only eating space, I would probably keep it minimalistic because you still live here and you still need to eat here. I don't particularly love how this is set up because it doesn't really stick to my color palette, but if I were showing and I still needed to eat and live here, I probably would stick to something very minimal. And then I'm going to show you, if this wasn't your primary eating space, I would transition to this more formal sit-down looking dining decor where, I have it fully staged. So you see those natural elements again that I brought in from outdoors. I have a plant that I just moved from another place in my house, and one little pumpkin. So it gives the vibe of Thanksgiving, but it also is not overdone. So again, you see different textures, different layers, different lighting. Again, all of that is key. Okay, so now if you're selling your home this season or thinking about listing, let me share some staging tips that actually work during Thanksgiving. So I've seen many sellers make these mistakes and it costs them showing. So tip number 1 is the neutral holiday rule. So keep your Thanksgiving decor minimal and neutral. I know it's tempting to go all out, to have turkeys everywhere, to have those red and yellow fake leaves, but buyers need to envision their memories and not yours. So notice how in my dining area, I use natural elements and neutral tones. This creates warmth without overwhelming the space. And research shows less is best in any season, especially when selling. So tip number 2 is the dining room staging strategy. Do stage your dining table to help buyers envision their Thanksgiving gatherings, and just so they feel warm and like this is where family gathers. A simple place setting with neutral dishes and a centerpiece of natural elements helps buyers imagine their own family here. But avoid personal items like family photos or unique decor that creates mental blocks. So again, you see here, I brought the outdoors in. Tip number 3 is your entrance and curb appeal for November showings. So we already covered my front porch, but if you are selling, this is critical. Create a warm welcome without overwhelming. So in Colorado, we have unique weather considerations. Make sure your entrance is clear of snow or leaves and it's well lit for those darker November showings. First impressions matter even more during holidays when buyers are distracted. Tip number 4, the 3 biggest Thanksgiving staging mistakes. Mistake number 1, over decorating. Buyers need to see your home, not your holiday. So you see here on my shelving, for instance, I do have holiday decor, but it's very minimal. It's easy to keep clean and it's not something that's distracting from the room. Mistake number 2 is using too many personal or unique items. So that turkey decoration from your grandmother that might be special to you, but it distracts buyers from evaluating the space. That's probably one that you should keep packed up if you are selling your home this season. Tip number 5 is balance festive with functional. So your holiday decor should enhance, not hide your home's best features. Don't cover up your architectural elements or storage with decorations. Buyers are still evaluating the home. They're not just admiring your Thanksgiving setup. So you see here in my little architectural niche that I added just some sprigs of wheat, and it really shows off the height and the beauty and the elegance of that space. Tip number 6 is the quick declutter test. So before any showing, do a 10-minute sweep. Remove excess personal photos and anything that distracts from your home's best features. This is the number 1 factor in successful holiday staging. If you're not sure, ask yourself, does this help the buyer see themselves here, or does it remind them this is someone else's home? Thank you so much for coming into my home this Thanksgiving season. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you really got some helpful tips out of this video. Hey, if there are any key takeaways in this, it is 1, stick to a color palette throughout your whole home if possible. Do some layered lighting and make sure you add in texture. If you do those 3 things, not only will your home look cozy, loved, and lived in, but it also will look great to sell this season. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. If you are seeing this on my newsletter, thank you for subscribing. And if not, and you would like to get more videos like this and other information about Northern Colorado, please subscribe to my channel below and also to my newsletter. Also, if you have any tips or tricks that you enjoy for the holiday season, please also comment below. I would love to see photos of your home, and I would love to see any of those extra tips or tricks that I can add into my decor next year. Happy Thanksgiving.